This will tag me on Facebook too.
Yep, I'm gonna thank you. We live right now. Hey guys, I want to welcome you to my Facebook Live tonight. I actually got Matthew with me. We actually gonna drop some. Matt, do you like to go by Matthew or Matt?
Either one. I've been called worse sometimes in my life.
All right, well, I'm gonna call you Matt. I got Matt
Perfect.
here tonight, guys. We're gonna drop some nuggets on you guys tonight. He's actually been around the network marketing industry for 27 years, guys. And what I want you guys to really know, he was the top earner in 4 different companies. I mean, he's truly a rock star. So what on this platform, people always ask me, Matt, Troy, why do you do this? I do this because the main reason is I want to be a servant to the industry. I want people to actually see how powerful this industry is, and it don't matter what walk of life you come from, you can be successful in this industry. And also I do this is because maybe you're looking for a business. Maybe you're looking to partner up with somebody that can assist you and help you take your life to the next level. Maybe you ain't vibing with me. Maybe you'll be vibing with Matt and you can reach out to him. So also, before we get going, if you're not connected with this gentleman on Facebook, you most definitely want to follow him on Facebook no matter what. I don't even care if you're actually in a company or not. Because if you're in a company, you can always learn from other leaders that's involved in companies. I mean, 27 years plus, guys. Went to the top money earner in 4 different companies. That's powerful within itself. So Matthew, go on and take it away, and I'm gonna go on and tag you in this.
Right on. Well, Troy, hey, thanks for having me come on tonight. Hey, as Troy said, my name is Matthew Jamieson. I reside here in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada. For those of you on Facebook land that don't know where that is, because I didn't either 19 years ago or 22 years ago. It's just above Maine here on the East Coast, home of the highest tides in the world. I'm originally from Massachusetts, spent 28 years in Massachusetts, born in Vermont. I lived in Massachusetts 28 years before moving here to Canada. So it's a pleasure and an honor to be here on Facebook Live with Troy. I mean, this gentleman is a servant-driven leader. I love how he brings other individuals, into his space on Facebook, and I love the conversations that we have. And hopefully you can grab some value. I'm going to share some story. Troy's going to ask me some questions. And as you said, I've been in network marketing 27 years of my life. The first 6 or so years, I didn't make any money. I should have quit and should have gave up. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Back to you, Troy.
All right, so this is what I want you guys to take away from this, man. And actually, I met him because I reached out to him, tried to prospect him.
Exactly. Perfect.
But the thing about it is, guys, and I truly believe that as you building your business, you got to not be afraid to reach out to different people. I was actually on a Clubhouse with Matthew I think it was last Thursday or Friday, and we was talking about, recruiting up. Because I truly believe that in order to build a successful business in this industry, you got to have some people that understand the game and how to play it. But Matthew, before we get all into it, just tell them your story, how you got involved, what was you doing before network marketing? I know you was a rock star way before the industry, but I'm messing with you. But tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny, ironic. All right, so let me just get to it. So I got a drinking and driving charge at 18 and a half years old back in New Hampshire, leaving Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, going across the 101 highway. I guess it's known as the Death Highway. And I got a drinking and driving charge. So at the time I was living in New Hampshire, I was running, I was a foreman for my uncle's asphalt maintenance company. My family, Jamieson, in the northeast of the United States, is some of the biggest names in the asphalt maintenance industry. So my dad was the largest distributor of asphalt maintenance products in Northeast America. And my uncle had his company. I couldn't work for my dad anymore, so I was up working for my uncle. I started working for my dad when I was about 10 years old. And so anyway, that's why I was up in New Hampshire. I left Hampton Beach. I went to meet some friends. Got that charge. So it should be only a 3-month license suspension. What happened for me is it turned into 11 months of HE double hockey sticks. Wow. Because of paperwork, because of cross state, all that stuff. I get to court in New Hampshire and they're like, oh, we didn't tell you needed this. Anyway, so what happened was I ended up moving back to my parents' house after being out of the house since I was about 17 years old. Back then, my dad and I had conflict. Let's put it this way. He was on the way home from work. I was on the way out the door every day. Just that's how we worked. And so I had to move back in with my parents. And, I had to get a job at the hardware store for $125 a week. Dad drove me back and forth and mom helped out a lot. So here's how I got into network marketing. Finally getting my license back. I answered an ad in the newspaper. It said sports-minded people. I played sports. I wrestled. I was in soccer, base, all that stuff growing up. Maybe not base. Yeah, I played baseball when I was young, but anyway. So that that ad rang to myself, and I answered an ad, and I ended up in Springfield, Massachusetts, in an office in a room with 15 other people, which is a little odd for an interview. But however, in front of the room, there were air filters and water filters and nutritional products and a whiteboard, and a gentleman by the name of Chuck Pereira. And he did a presentation and talked about, moving products and through a distribution network and earning commissions based on moving those products. And one of the biggest things for me, Troy, is he held up this book right here. And my dad had given me this when I was 16 years old. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I didn't read it when my dad gave it to me, but when Chuck held that book up, I said, "Oh my goodness, I got a copy of that," and I picked it up, and so I went through that presentation. Everybody else, the other 14 people, got up and left, and I stayed. I got a vision. I got excited about what I saw. The circles on the whiteboard, you can see I got a couple whiteboards here, but the circles got me excited, and at that point in time in my life. Like I said, I got the drinking and driving charge, but what I also didn't tell you is I like to distribute things. It might not have been on the legal level, but I used to distribute a lot of things, and I was in a bad course in my life.
So hold on for Matthew. Sales was already in your blood.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was the guy that used to sell candy, bring candy and stuff to school and sell it too, right, and make a profit. So I had long hair. Picture this: I had long hair. I had a mullet. I actually had a mullet. I used to love wearing tie-dyes and all that stuff. And all of a sudden I seen this business presentation and fell in love with the concept. The next thing you know, I shaved my head and went like crew cut. I stopped wearing tie-dyes and started, wearing a sport jacket and, I started wearing a tie and nice shoes. Anyway, it transformed, but finding internet ad completely changed my direction in life, even though I didn't make money for the first 6 years with that particular opportunity. But I started to do a lot of personal development. I started to attend events. And one of my very first events, Troy, and I don't think I've ever told you this yet, but we left Springfield, Massachusetts. Me and 5 other people rented a mid-sized Buick and drove 44 hours straight to Las Vegas, Nevada for a one-day launch event for a company called Equinox International. Got back in the car and drove back across the country. That was my first event, and that really set me on a different path in my entire life.
But see, that's what I want you guys to take away from that. As I sit here and talk to Matt, man, he went to an event, and the event changed his life, guys. And see, network marketing is a business of personal development. It truly doesn't matter where you start. It's about you having that drive and teaming up with the right people that's going to assist you and help you become better. So, man, I mean, you guys started in network marketing at 19. You've been to the top of several companies, 4 of them top money earner. So tell us about that journey. How did all that? 6 years not making no money, but that one event made a shift in your life.
Yeah, well, I caught the vision. I mean, I got to see, people that had success. I get to understand and really start to wrap my head around bettering myself. And, really developing skill sets, just like at a job or, why do people go to school to be a doctor anyway, developing skill sets. And, it took me a while, the first 6 years I didn't make any money, but then in the year 2000, let me back up. 1999, I bought my first computer. My first computer was to invest in the stock market. I was following a guy by the name of Wade Cook. You see, I got books in the library here, and I got more in the box all over the place, but somewhere on here, and I don't know where it is. Anyway, Wade Cook, Wall Street Money Machine. I bought a computer to invest in the stock market and make some money. Well, I did what every stupid investor does. I took living money, $2,000 or $3,000 worth of living money, like rent money, and I invested it in penny stocks and this and that. I was like, "You're going to make more money." Yeah, lost it. So of course my my girlfriend at the time wasn't very happy with me, and I wasn't very happy with myself. So next thing I was going to do is invest in real estate. I'm like, okay, well, real estate. People that are in real estate make a lot of money, and so there's a gentleman by the name of Robert G. Allen. I don't know if you heard of Robert G. Allen. No Money Down Real Estate.
Yep.
Well, I went to a real estate seminar in Somerville, Massachusetts. I walked in. I was all excited, and back then you had to take a piece of paper, and it was actually a registration form. We didn't have online stuff. So you filled out a piece of paper, registration form. And I went through that seminar and I was jazzed. I was excited. And then all of a sudden at the end of the seminar, when they did the close, $6,000 to get trained. Well, guess what? I walked out of there with my knuckles dragging on the ground, and I was so upset and just bummed out. I'm like, well, I don't have any money. I can't access that. And then what happened was, because I filled out that registration form, a gentleman from American Fork, Utah, actually Provo, Utah, where Robert Allen's office is, picked up the phone and gave me a call. He says, "Hey, Matt, this is Dan McKelly." And you listen, you didn't buy the real estate seminar, but hey, we're doing, Robert's got a program. We're doing this network thing, and we're going to show you how to place tiny little classified ads all over the internet and have people come to you. And we're going to give you a website, and you're going to just place classified ads and business ads on. And remember the old message boards and
Yep.
classifieds. And so I did just that. And matter of fact, I still got all of Robert's books. Signed, and still got a picture of with Robert way back in the day. So I'm like, oh my goodness, is this network marketing? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm in. I said,
Yeah.
heck yeah, you're going to show me how to not talk to my friends and family, because what most people didn't realize, and Dan didn't realize, is with the first opportunity, I literally dragged over 300 people to that office in Springfield, Massachusetts to see a presentation. The problem was I dragged a lot of the wrong people, or people that were just going to see the show, because that's how I got nicknamed Millionaire Matt, the water filter guy, back in the day. And I think people just wanted to see why I was so excited and why I was so crazy at the time.
So Matt, you telling me, I want to stop you real fast, then we'll start back. You telling me you mean all your friends and family didn't help you become rich?
There's 0 friends and family in my business right now. And throughout the years, I mean, my little brother jumped in a bunch of stuff. I got to give credit to my little brother Jared, but he was with me in Equinox, and I got him to invest money because I didn't have money. Anyway, I still get a little poke from my brother on that one once in a while. But yeah, no, I mean, literally, no. At this point in the game, and throughout a lot of my companies, my brother played with me for a while. Then he just was like, nah. And he's one of the most successful sales guys in the asphalt maintenance equipment industry now. But no friends and family at this point in time for the most part.
So one more question then. How did you do it?
I use the internet. Like I said, Robert said it in his team, Mike Ray, Dan McKelly, Dan Brink, Tom Painter. These guys were going to show me how to place tiny little classified ads. And we started doing that. But what I realized at that point in time was Mike Ray kept popping up when you searched Robert Allen's name on Google or Alexa, or oh my goodness. Anyway, all the old search engines, Ask Jeeves, and yeah, you remember all the old search engines, right? Yahoo. I mean, Yahoo's still there, but some of them. And so what I then did is like, well, if Mike's popping up, why is Mike popping up in the search engine? So I started to really deep dive into SEO, search engine optimization, and learning how to get my name in my website to pop when somebody search this gentleman's name, who's got 10, 12 books floating around and everything. And so I really leveraged the internet at that point in the game to bring people into my website, like, people that were looking for opportunity or looking for something Robert Allen was involved with. And I built a skill set to where I was popping #1 in Google out of millions of results for not only his name, but a whole ton of other things at that point in time.
So, okay.
And to this day, actually, I'm still pretty darn good at it.
So you did that. You learned the internet marketing. That's how you build a business. The reason why I asked you that, man, because a lot of people get in the network marketing industry and they think that, man, all I got to do is go talk to a handful of my friends and bang, the money gonna roll in, right? And me and you both know. I mean, you've been around 27 years. I've been around 17 years. My story was a little different. Me and Lisa got involved in our first company. We crushed it. A lot of our friends got in it. That company only lasts 2 years, man. I remember sitting at my friend's dining room table about to start crying because all my money was gone. You know what I'm saying? So I've been there. But as I moved into my second company, I was like you. I had to really figure out, how do I get to people that's really looking for opportunity? What me and you both can really agree on is it's easy to build a business or when you're dealing with people that really want to build something versus trying to drag your family and friends along with you. So tell us a little bit about, your journey, like, going to the top, people don't understand, man. I think a lot of times people don't understand the work ethic that it takes to actually become a top money earner in this industry. 4 different companies. That's powerful, brother.
Yeah, and I wasn't the #1 guy, but I was a top income earner in all 4 companies, including being a co-master distributor of my own network marketing company for a few years. Let me just back up. I want to say something. Friends and family. Let's just touch on the friends and family thing. Listen. Friends and family can steal dreams, and they don't mean to do it. And what I mean by that, and it happens to a lot of people, is they don't understand what we're involved in. They don't understand network marketing, direct sales, MLM, whatever you want to call it. So, a lot of first thing you do is you go to your friends and family. You go to your uncle. You go to your mom, your brother, your sister, and then they're like, well, my friend's uncle's son's, Bob's dog's sister's cousin tried one of those things and lost money. And then they start to give you negativity without even realizing, because they don't understand what it's all about, or they've never been involved with it themselves. So, a little bit about my journey. So, I got involved with Robert Allen and a company called USANA Health Sciences based out of Utah. That was April 9th of 2000. I remember the date. I signed up. I remember everything. I started marketing, bringing people to the table, to the website, getting on the phone, because you got to pick up the phone, guys. You can't just build this without, network marketing is really built through relationships. And so I started getting on the phone and building relationships with people, and utilizing what we call the three-way phone call. And the three-way phone call changed my life after I got it right. So I would do three-way phone calls to Dan McKelly, my enroller, and he'd be talking, asking questions, doing things. Then Matt would add my quote unquote broke sauce. I'd add, oh, well, all about the products and this and that. I'd start going on what I thought the prospect needed to hear. And it wasn't until Dan called me back after a three-way call, Troy, and he said, Matt, if you don't shut the up, I'm never going to do another phone call with you. And I got scared. I'm like, well, I can't do this alone. I need Dan. So I remember vividly, I was very good at getting people to the phone with Dan. I was terrible at shutting up and not talking. And so I said, okay, Dan, you know what? I'm gonna take you up on this. Next time I do a three-way call, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna mute if you ask me a question. And he's like, if I ask you a question, you come off mute, you answer it concisely, short, and then you mute and let me continue doing what I'm doing, because I'm working through a process. I'm asking questions. I'm working them up to doing something. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, Troy, that day, I remember it. We didn't have cell phones. I had a phone with a speaker and push buttons and things, one of those old antiquated things. And I got Dan on the phone with a couple, and I sat back and I muted the phone, and he's doing his thing. And I remember yelling and screaming and asking myself why he's saying this and that. And then next, the people are like, we're ready to get started. Wow. So they got started. So I brought another individual that same day to Dan. That person gets started, and then a third that same day. And I made more money that week than I did at a month of my job. Wow. Driving a garbage truck at the time. I used to be a garbage truck driver, and I was mind blown. And once I figured out the power of the three-way call, and for those of you watching this live, I want you to just grab a piece of paper, because I want you to do a quick visual. And I want you to just grab a piece of paper, and I want you to draw, and I'll draw it real fast. I want you to draw a circle on the top of your paper, a circle down to the bottom left, and a circle down to the bottom right. I want you to connect the circles all the way around, so it looks like, oh my God, it looks like a pyramid, Troy.
Yep.
Anyway, up top, I want you to write your name, or you. At the bottom left, I want to put prospect, potential customer, whatever it is. Call it a prospect, okay? Somebody looking at your product, services, or opportunity. And at the bottom right, I want you to put mentor or expert. Expert. And my handwriting sucks, but if you can see it, so up top, you're going to have you. At the bottom left, you're going to have prospect. And at the bottom right, you're going to have an expert. Between you and the prospect, I want you to write the word trust, because you've built rapport, you've built a relationship, and you've built some trust with that person. And between the prospect and the mentor across the bottom line, I want you to write respect. So it looks like this. Between you and the prospect, you've built trust. Between the prospect and the mentor is respect. And as soon as you bring on a three-way call and you do proper edification. So if you don't know what edification is when you properly introduce somebody. So for Dan, it would be, hey, meet my friend Dan. Dan is my mentor. Somebody's been in the business a lot longer than I have been. And, he's going to answer your question, because I just got started. Now, folks, it doesn't matter if you got started yesterday, last week, last month, 6 months ago, or a year. You always just got started, and your mentor knows more than you do. Do you understand that? That's key, how you position that. And then you introduce your prospect, because you should have been taking some notes. You should have been, hey, this is Dawn and Janice, and they, they're from Missouri, and they've got 3 kids and 2 dogs and a cat and a goldfish, and he works at the factory, and Janice is a school teacher, but the kids are having trouble making ends meet, and that's why they're looking for an opportunity. And if you're not making these notes on your prospects, you're making a huge mistake. So anyway, that's what I did. I mastered the three-way call, and it started to change everything for me. So hopefully I didn't go too long on that, but that's
No,
really the
I mean,
process and the journey that started to change my life as I learned marketing, as I learned how to prospect. And I don't just do it all on the internet. I mean, there's all meeting people, saying hello is a great way to start a conversation to meet somebody. So anyway,
Matt, as you get into that, I recruited a lot of people by hanging out at Starbucks.
yep.
And then, when we got, the COVID hit, and then I started learning how to, improve my skills on the internet. I got on the internet. And, as I get on the internet, and even as I message people and I, shot a message like I shot a message to you, I craft it where it ain't offensive, where it's just asking them, are they open?
Correct.
That's it. So, but the power of the three-way call, I want to get back to that because I think a lot of people miss that. They miss that they don't have to be the expert. And what happens is that creates duplication. You know what I'm saying? So then that person that, like, the couple that got started, guess what? They realized that they didn't have to learn all of this.
There's 4 magic words everybody looking at your opportunity should be saying to themselves. Troy, do you know what those 4 magic words are?
Tell me what they are, Matt.
I can do that. So what do I mean by that? 4 magic words. I can do that. Well, I met Matt through Facebook, Instagram, the internet, Starbucks. It doesn't even matter where you met. Matt piqued my interest, asked me if I was open to taking a look at something. Great. Matt sent me a short video or, an opportunity video or recorded call. Back then it was recorded calls. We didn't use video back then.
Yeah.
So whatever it was, he asked me to take a look at a bit of information in a website. And then he introduced me to Dan, and Matt sat back, shut up, and Dan answered all the questions. I can do that. But if you're trying to be the expert and you're trying to know every product ingredient like I was in the beginning before Dan corrected me and said, shut up and let me do a process, if you're sitting there trying to be the expert, answer all their questions, know everything and be Mr. Know-it-all, then guess what? Your prospect's sitting there going, I can't do that. I'm never going to be able to do that. It's not for me. No way. So that's what really changed everything in the power of the three-way phone call, utilizing my mentor, getting myself out of the way. And to this day, 27 years later, I still do it all the time.
I mean, that's the key, but just think about it, man, because, people don't want to learn too much, until they get in it and really get the feel of it. People ask me, Troy, how did the conversation plan work? Oh, hold on for a minute, Matt. I'm going to shoot you a video and it's going to explain it. Even though I don't know how it works.
Don't be a tool, use the tools.
Yeah, instead of trying to explain it, I mean, you hit it right on the nail. Guys, you guys have, got some powerful nuggets from Matt tonight. And also, like I said, I want to recap. If you're not following him, you most definitely want to follow him on Facebook, Instagram. He's in Clubhouse now, dropping a bunch of nuggets and stuff over there. Because our goal of it is to just show people that we are in the best industry in the world. So, man, we're going to wrap this up because I know you got to get ready and get on a leadership call. But
I got a few more minutes, but yeah, we're going to be kicking off February here in a little bit.
See, that's what I'm talking about. How's it going? How's the first of the year going for you, Matt?
We're rocking. I mean, even in 2020, I was surprised. When COVID hit, everybody freaked out. I was freaked out, and I had the best year I've had in a number of years in 2020. People were looking for opportunity. I've primarily always been into health and wellness. So I'm currently in health and wellness, and so people are looking for health and wellness, and they're looking for opportunity because so many people were impacted by their jobs. And it was a good year. I mean, one of the best I've seen, and 2020 is already shaping up. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with our leadership team a little bit earlier today, and our CEO, and just mapping out where we're headed, what we're doing, and we got some big things going on in 2021. And that's another thing. If you don't have goals, you don't have a roadmap. If you don't have stuff that you're aiming for, you're never going to hit your target. And so I just throw those nuggets in there as well, Troy. I mean, it was a good year, and 2021 is going to be better because I'm going to make sure it's better.
Oh yeah.
Mindset. Thoughts are things, folks, straight out of Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, mindset is the key. I mean, I didn't even know. Me and Matt, we was talking before we got on here. He was involved in a company I was in. I didn't do that much with that company, but he crushed it over there. You know what I'm saying? But I think it do all start with mindset and being teachable and coachable and finding the right mentor. See, when Matt really got serious, he went to that one event that changed his life, and then he got mentorship. When the guy he was working with doing three-way calls told him, "Hey, be quiet. I'm never going to do a call with you again." He could have easily ignored it and got on the three-way call with him again and got to talking. And guess what? He wouldn't have never been able to accomplish what he been able to accomplish today. I mean, that's powerful within itself. So, man, let's say if somebody looking at this industry for the first time, they might not even be in the network marketing. They might not even, understand it, right? But they really looking to do something for themselves. What kind of advice would you give them about our industry?
Well, I can tell you, it's a viable way to earn an extra couple $100 a month if you're looking to just supplement and make a couple extra $100 a month. If you're looking to, really dive in and grow yourself personally and get mentored by individuals, then you can take it to a couple $1,000s a month. If you think really big and believe that it can happen, and you're working with people that are doing it, the sky. I hate to say the sky's the limit, but I mean, realistically, I mean, 5, 10, 15, $20,000 a month, not hard. Well, hang on. Let me rephrase that. I'm not going to say it's not hard to do, but it is very doable with the right team, the right mentorship, right company compensation plan. 30, 40, $50,000 a month. Now I'm going to, some people can't even fathom earning $500 a month. So I don't want to blow people away, but folks, I know people, and I've been mentored by people that make 50, 60, 80, 100. My very good friend Tom Chenault, I've known him for years. We worked together in a company. I mean, anyway, I mean, there's multiple people like that. I mean, but so a brand new person, I'd say be open-minded, be coachable. Question if somebody's training you, say, hey, I want to make sure that you're a legit coach and you're able to train me. Now, listen, another thing I'd say to somebody brand new is maybe your cousin introduced you and they just got started. Don't hit them with how much money have you made so far. You know what? That's not what it's all about. Ask your cousin to introduce you to their mentor, the person that's successful in that company that can help you get to where you want to go. And maybe you bypass your cousin who's going to benefit from introducing you, but you go work with that mentor and do for you. That's what I would recommend. Lock arms with somebody successful. Maybe it's not the person to introduce you. Maybe they just got started yesterday. How are they supposed to coach and mentor you from getting started yesterday? But there's always going to be somebody in your company, in your support team. I hate upline. I hate downline. I hate those terms. It's support team in your business. And there's always going to be somebody that'll lock arms with you and will help you and teach you and train you. And if you're willing to put in some work, because it's network marketing for a reason. It's not get rich quick and make $1 million in a year, and give it time. My good friend Todd Falcone always says in his trainings, and I live by this as well, 1.5 years, 18 months. Don't quit in 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Don't quit in a month or 3 months. Commit to 18 months of figuring it out, getting mentored and making it work. I went 6 years without making any money. I should have quit. I was known as Millionaire Matt, the water filter guy, the laughing stock of town. Seriously, laughing stock of town for years, and I still get razzed. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, my ex-wife made a jab at me. And I hate to throw that out there, but I heard that she made a jab about Millionaire Matt. Well, whatever. I don't care, and don't care what people think. It's your life. They're not paying your bills, guys. Don't care what people think. Do it for you.
And I mean, that's really the key, guys, just being in this game and doing it for yourself. I've been there too, man. I mean, like I said, I lost my income in companies. I got in companies and, didn't actually reach my goals and stuff like that. But I didn't give up because I saw the big picture. I was able to actually see people like yourself. And just like you mentioned some other people, I've been following Todd Falcone for years. I've seen people that made life-changing incomes in this industry. And also I've seen people that just, the average person, if they could just imagine earning an extra $500 to $600 a month could change their life. You know what I'm saying? So if let's say if I know you're in the health and wellness industry and I'm in the health and wellness industry, and I think health and wellness right now, man, if a person is in the health and wellness industry and they're in network marketing, what kind of tip could you give them to help them make 2021 their best year?
Well, you got to be a product of your product, in my opinion. You got to really be passionate about your product and opportunity. And you got to want to help people. It's all about helping people. I actually took 14 months off and back out of the network marketing space. So a company that Troy mentioned that we were with, that company actually went out of business. It financially devastated my wife and I after it started to crumble. And so then I went to another opportunity. That company it just wasn't where I wanted to be. Then I went to another company. I had great success. And then my wife and I decided, well, I don't know if that's where I wanted to build. So I stepped back and took 14 months off before locking arms and re-engaging in another opportunity. And sometimes that's what you got to do. I just got a brain fart and forgot where I was going with that story. Troy, back
But
me
you know
up.
what? You know what, Matt? We always come back. Even when you take time off, once you understand the
That's
power
right.
of this industry, you always come back.
Thank you.
Even myself, before the opportunity I'm involved in now, I actually got my CDL. I was actually fit to get a couple of trucks and hire some people to drive. And guess what? Before I even got that off the ground, I got a call from a friend of mine, and you always come back. Because just like you said, Matt, it's more about, we can create income, but the impact that you can make in other people's lives. To me, that inspires me, that motivates me when I get a call from somebody that maybe used my product and said, man, I feel better. Or maybe I got a person involved, a single mom or something that was struggling financially, and they got their first check for $300 and it builds their belief like that. And they said, man, you know what? I can be better. I can do bigger things. Or maybe I remember being in one company and I was working with some people and they was able to replace their income and go full time. That type of stuff inspires me and motivates me more than anything. And I know it does you too, Matt, because you have a servant heart. Just like we doing this, we don't have nothing to gain from doing this. All we want to do is just show people that what we do is real. And I'm gonna say this once again, guys. If you're not following Matt through on Facebook, you most definitely need to follow him. You need if you haven't heard of Clubhouse, if you got an iPhone, you need to find somebody to invite you to Clubhouse.
I've got 7 invites. I'll throw it out there to anybody watching this. I've got 7 invites right now.
I got 4. So all you got to do, there you go, right there. Hit Matt up, and he'll invite you to Clubhouse. If you got an iPhone, hit me up. I invite you to Clubhouse and follow us on Clubhouse. The other day, me and Matt, we've been talking about going live probably for about a few weeks now, maybe a month. And I bumped into a room in Clubhouse he was on. And I was like, wow, and I was listening. I was like, oh, man, I know him. I went over and I reached out to him. And that's why we make this happen tonight, guys. But that's all we want to do. Matt, close it out, man. If you had something to close them out, what would you close them out with?
I guess I just got my train of thought back, and I'll close it out with this. I took 14 months off from network marketing because I didn't want to I don't just sell stuff to sell stuff. Now, throughout my younger years in network marketing, maybe, it was all about selling stuff to make money. But now I like to, and I said this before, I like to help people. And I have a passion for helping people. And being in the health and wellness industry, you help a lot of people, not only with their health, but with their wealth. Give it a shot. If you're not in network marketing, or if you've been introduced, but you weren't too sure, listen, do your homework, do your research, make sure that you're not joining a pyramid scam, because there are pyramid scams out there. And I just want to say this: make sure there's a legitimate product or service in exchange for the money. Don't get involved with these money games where you're buying, giving money, but you're not getting any product or service. So I will say that: do your research, do your homework, research the founders, research the product developers, research everything, and make sure that you find a legitimate company. Then find a mentor. Find a mentor that has what you want and do what they did to get what they got. That's what I was taught at a very young age. Find somebody that has what you want, do what they did to get what they got. Maybe your cousin, like I said earlier, introduced you to an opportunity, or somebody, or even you found an opportunity on Facebook, somebody, whatever. But find somebody in that company that's having success. Reach up to them if they're not reaching down, because a good leader will reach down through the team and what we call tap root, and find and identify and see who's hungry. And but find a mentor, and then don't quit. I should have quit. I was too dumb to quit. I saw the vision.
I'm right there with you. I should have quit a long time ago. Man, this is the most.
One more thing: personal development, guys and gals. If you had never read Think and Grow Rich, this was written by Napoleon Hill. He studied people like Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, the top millionaires and billionaires. And folks, this was written in the 1930s. Yep. Okay? It's all how you think. Thoughts are things. Anything the mind of man can conceive and believe it can achieve. I would highly recommend start with that one, and then continue. The Power of Focus. There is, I got John C. Maxwell books, which, by the way, with Visalis, I was personally mentored by John C. Maxwell in the Leadership Lid group, which was awesome. Robert Allen, you got, financial books. I mean, David Bach, David Ramsey, and then there's industry specific books. Brian Carruthers?
Yep.
Yeah, of course. So, of course, I've got his Building an Empire. Deep dive into books like this. Richard Bliss Brooke, if you know Richard. The 4-year career. My very or Ray Higdon. Do you have this one, Troy? Go for No for
Yeah,
network marketing.
I'm a part of Rank Makers.
There you go. So you're part of Rank Makers. Exactly. That's how I got the book sent to me. Building an Empire. Brian Carruthers.
Got
My
that
very,
one.
very, very good friend Rob Sperry. He's got some books out there. My good friend David Scoltetti, Ripple Marketing. Burke Hedges. You remember Burke Hedges?
Yep.
Of course, Mr. Eric Worre, GoPro.
Yep.
My good friend Rob Sperry, The Game of Networking, The Game of Conquering. This one's old. You probably remember this one, The Way Forward Way to Building Your Downline, Richard Poe. I mean, I could keep pulling them out. So personal development, find a mentor, and never quit. And I know we're going long.
No, I mean, really, Matt, you just dropped a lot of knowledge. I mean, my library is like that too. I'm not biased, but man, we got stacks of books almost every week. Lisa got books coming in from Amazon like crazy.
And if you don't like to read, there's YouTube.
Yep, YouTube, or you can buy audio books.
Right, those too.
Hey guys, with that, we're gonna let you guys go. I want to thank you guys for the time tonight, but also, like I said, if you're not following this gentleman, follow him. He broke down some key factors, and I want to leave you with this. He said you got to research the company, make sure you have the legit product or service, right? And he talking about find a mentor. It could be a company out there that might have a legit product or service, but if it don't have the leadership, it's not going nowhere. You want to make sure the company you're looking at got leaders like Matt, got leaders like myself. And also, you want to make sure them leaders really care about people and they passionate about building a team and helping others become successful. That's the key, guys. So we left you guys with some key factors. So if you're looking for a company, reach out to Matt. Maybe you vibe with him. And if you're not, maybe you vibe with me. You know what I'm saying?
Reach out to Troy because he's a rock star too. So.
And then if you're in the industry, just start living with a servant heart and understand, man, that we really can make an impact in other people's lives. And it's about, collaborating and meeting people like Matt and building relationships where we can all grow together as a one big network marketing family. That's what I believe in. So with that, Matt, hey, man, I want to thank you for taking the time out tonight.
You.
Go crush it on your call. And with that, guys, God bless. You guys have an awesome night.
Thank you, Troy. You rock. Appreciate you, sir.